Michelle Leahy with Reedy Press. Today I'm joined by Mary Johns Wilson. Mary's the local author and history buff. She has crisscrossed Alabama from its majestic mountains to its beautiful beaches to help craft the most interesting itineraries for visitors and Alabamans alike in her book, 100 Things to Do in Alabama Before You Die. Mary, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how, Mary, did you come up with all of the places or the places that you picked for 100 Things to Do in Alabama?
So the way that I started off with my list is I actually co-host a TV show here as part of my job with the Alabama Farmers Federation. The TV show is called Simply Southern TV, and we've visited a whole lot of places over 6 seasons with that show. So I kind of picked some of my favorites from that, whether I had done them or maybe another reporter had, and then filled in the rest based on the different categories that we had to work with, and just filled in the rest with different restaurants or tourist attractions, sites that maybe we hadn't covered on the TV show because we just haven't gotten around to them yet, or maybe it's tough to actually get 5 minutes worth of video from a place, even though it's really worthy of going to go see. So that's really how I started all of that, was just kind of out of personal experience from our TV show that we do.
Interesting. All right. So I am loving your background. Tell me about the background.
Yes. So the background behind me, this is actually a picture that I took when I was in Bayou La Battery for the Blessing of the Fleet. Bayou La Battery is very far south in Alabama. It's actually even south of Mobile, and it is a shrimping community. So if you've seen Forrest Gump, they actually shot parts of the movie there in Bayou La Battery because of the shrimp boat industry. And they do a Blessing of the Fleet every year where the bishop drives down through the bayou and blesses all of the boats. Now, that is one of the things that's been impacted by COVID-19. As far as I know, I don't think that they're going to be able to do that next month. But you can always keep up with them on Facebook and figure out if travel restrictions are lifted by then, maybe they do get the blessing in, and you can still go down to the festival. But that's the background behind me, is Bayou La Battery.
Very cool. I love
Mhm.
it. And so what were some of the more unique things to Alabama that you included in your book?
Well, it's hard for me to narrow it down to just one. So I think my top three interesting things. The first one is in the northwest corner of the state. It's called Dismal's Canyon. Beautiful place to go. Has a prehistoric forest there. But the thing that really makes it interesting and unique is if you're there at dusk as night comes in, you will notice along the walls of the canyon there are these glowing insects. So those only occur there in Alabama, and then I think it's Australia is the other place, Australia and New Zealand, where you see those glowing insects. So definitely something that you need to check out, and hopefully can still do during these times because it's outdoors to get to Dismal's Canyon. Then closer to where I live in Montgomery, which is in the center of the state, there is an impact crater from millions of years ago. There was a big asteroid that hit, and the impact crater is in the city of Wetumpka. So you can go and you can view that. The best place to view it from is Jasmine Hill Gardens. A lot of it is actually privately owned land, but if you're just walking through the city of Wetumpka sometimes too, you'll notice the rocks are like very different colors than what you'll see in other places of the state. And that's because of that impact crater. And then the third thing is actually what my shirt mentions, Fear No Weevil. The city of Enterprise, Alabama boasts what is, as far as I'm told, the world's only monument to an insect. So in the center of town, they have the boll weevil monument. And they built this monument to the boll weevil because when the boll weevil came through and decimated the area's cotton crop, the farmers, the business people of that city all got together and decided to start planting peanuts instead, which really was a boon for the economy, and it completely changed agriculture in that area. So they decided to kind of say thank you to the boll weevil. Even though it caused a lot of destruction, it made everyone innovate and find something new and different that they could be successful at with the peanut. So there you go.
Love it. I love it. So who do you think that your book is designed for? Is it the person who's lived in Alabama their entire life, or the person's just coming to visit?
I would say that the book is designed for tourists, but that also includes people who've lived in Alabama their entire lives, because this really covers things from all over the state. We have 67 counties, and I think there's 52 counties that are represented in the book.
Wow.
So even if you've lived in Mobile your entire life, or Huntsville, or Birmingham, Montgomery, or a rural area, there's going to be interesting things for you in here. So you can be a local who becomes a tourist and enjoy seeing things in new and different ways than you've experienced them before.
I love it. I love it. I have a feeling that once this stay-at-home order has lifted a little bit, that people probably aren't going to venture too far from home. So I think that definitely some Alabama people will want to get their hands on a copy of your book. One of the things that I love about your book are those suggested itineraries in the back. I just think that's great. It's a no-brainer. You can choose based on your level of interest, or who you're going to be with that day. I love those. Where can people go to get a copy of your book, Mary, or to connect with you?
So the best place to depends on two things. If you need it fast, go to Amazon. If you want it signed and you're okay with having a little bit more time for shipping and all of that, then go to my website, which is 100thingsalabama.com. It's the numbers 100thingsalabama.com. And you can contact me there. I'm also happy to come out and speak at events once we're able to do events again.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing some sort of virtual event and you need a speaker, please reach out and let me know. I'd love to share about our great state.
Awesome. Mary, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today and for writing such a cool book about Alabama. I look forward to visiting.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate the opportunity.